The NFL draft is in just a few days, and that means our rookie drafts are quickly approaching. Odds are you know the guys that are going to go in the first round of your rookie drafts. You might know the high end second rounds, maybe even the whole second round. But we're going to give you some third rounders and fourth rounders of your rookie drafts that are sleepers. People don't know them very well, and they're definitely guys that you should be targeting. So, Dak, who's our first sleeper?
The first guy on this list is Jaylen McMillan, wide receiver out of Washington. Everyone knows about Rome Odunze. Obviously, he's the hyped up guy, should be going top 10 in the NFL draft. Not a lot of people talk about Jalen McMillan. The biggest reason for this is the injury that he suffered in his senior season. He was on pace to have an extremely good season before he got hurt midway through the year. He came back in time for the college football playoff, so I think people got to see him then, and he played really well against Texas. He's 22 years old. He's got good size. He's 6'1", about 200 pounds. Some people thought he was going to run in the 4.5s, and he surprised by running a 4.47 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. So he's got better than expected athleticism. He broke out his junior season. The first 2 years he had COVID and then just didn't produce his sophomore season. But his junior year, he had a very good season. And then obviously the senior season, he was on pace to really produce well before he got hurt. Again, he got overshadowed by Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk in that offense. If McMillan was healthy for an entire season, I honestly think he'd be getting talked about with like the Xavier Legetts, the Keon Coleman, Roman Wilson, that kind of range. But right now, no one seems to really be talking about him. Maybe as like a fourth round pick. We personally think that he'll probably get day 2 draft capital, maybe go in the third round. There's maybe a chance he sneaks into the second round, but probably goes in the third round of the NFL draft. If that happens, it all depends on where he goes. But if he goes to a team that doesn't have a certified number 2, number 3 receiver, he might be going in the back end of your second round rookie drafts, but most likely he will be going in the third round. You'll be able to take him there and get a good value on a really good player that's just been slept on because of injuries and not producing due to other guys in their offense. But he's a really exciting player to have. Again, we think he's going to go in the third round, and we think you should be taking him there.
Hey guys, 88% of you are not subscribed. It would really help us out if you could drop us a sub. Now back to the video.
Jeff, who do you got as your sleeper?
Yeah, my sleeper, I have Jacob Cowie, his wide receiver out of Arizona. 5'9", 168, 23 years old, so a little bit on the older side, but you see that when you're talking sleepers. Normally guys that stayed for 4 years were not early declares. He averaged 20 yards per catch at UTEP, where he was his first couple years of school. He transferred to Arizona for his last couple years of college, and he really burst onto the scene alongside Tep McMillan, who's going to be a really good wide receiver prospect next year. So targets were taken away from Cowie because of how good he was. He's probably going in the 4th or 5th round of the NFL draft, which obviously isn't something that we really like, but he could be worth a stab in the 4th round of your rookie drafts and could have some nice upside for you. Dalton, who do you have?
So I'm going to talk about Marshon Lloyd, who's a running back out of USC. Now, Lloyd's a little bit older. He's 23 years old, which is already like, it's too old for our running backs, right? But, still a rookie, so he's going to have a couple good years. He's a little bigger, 220, but he's, not that big in height, only 5'9". But he's a decent running back. He's kind of that thumper. Can't really catch the ball. Only had 13 catches last year, so that's pretty abysmal. But what he does have is size, and he's a great pure runner of the football. He could easily be a goal line back for a team, and that's going to score touchdowns, obviously. And touchdowns score fantasy points, right? We like that. We could see Lloyd becoming a 1-2 punch type of running back for a team. Someone that's going to take the goal line work. Think like a bad David Montgomery, like someone like that. We like that. If you can get him in the third round of your rookie drafts, we're fine with that. He could easily be a starter for a real NFL team. And taking running backs in the 3rd and 4th round is often the better play than the wide receivers, just because wide receivers have a smaller hit rate than the running backs do. And running backs, we like to say we don't keep roster clogger wide receivers as, we cut them as soon as they're irrelevant. But running backs, they can always have a chance to have a couple spot starts, which is what you could get out of Lloyd, right? So draft Lloyd in 3rd round, 4th round of your rookie drafts, and we like him. Dak, who's our last guy?
Yeah, the last guy we're going to have on this list is not as big as a sleeper as the other guys. I think some people are realizing that he could be pretty good. That is Javon Baker, the receiver out of UCF. Baker is a guy who spent his first couple years at Alabama, and obviously he was stuck behind Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, J-Mo, John Mechie, so he transferred to UCF, and the final 2 years of college at UCF, he was a pretty good receiver. He was a big play threat. His last year of college, he averaged 22 yards per catch, and 7 of those yards came off of yak. He had one of the best yards per route run in the class, which is a good stat when you're looking at efficiency and projecting how these guys are going to translate to the NFL. So not only is he catching the ball downfield, he's then creating yards after the catch. So that's just really good. It translates to fantasy points. He's also got good size. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. He, like McMillan, could be going day 2 of the NFL draft. third round, also could maybe sneak into the second round, but most likely will end up in the third round. And if those yards per route run, those efficiency metrics translate to the NFL, Baker's a guy who could compete for wide receiver 2 status on an NFL team. And again, if you're finding that in the third round, that's really good value. And we would like to invest in Javon Baker at that price point before he gets more hype and becomes overvalued at that point. So we want to draft Baker while he's still cheap and we've got the chance to get him.
Thanks for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.